White-shouldered house moth. The white-shouldered house moth Endrosis sarcitrella is a species of gelechioid moth. It belongs to the subfamily Oecophorinae of the concealer moth family Oecophoridae, just like the brown house moth Hofmannophila pseudospretella. Though several presumed congeners of E. sarcitrella were described, its genus Endrosis is currently understood to be monotypic. This moth is a common species, found by now almost worldwide due to its synanthropic habits. It occurs regularly inside buildings, and being continuously brooded, can be found at any time of year. It frequents light sources and can be found in outbuildings where dried food such as grain is kept. It also inhabits birds' nests. The larva is a little grub-like caterpillar and lives on dry plant and animal debris, where it spins itself a small silken hideout. Recorded foodstuffs include dried fruits, cereals including bran and flour and other seeds, potatoes, rotting wood, and even insect specimens, wool and old textiles, and guano. Taxonomy. As type species of Endrosis, the white-shouldered house moth was originally included in the genus when it was established by Jacob Hubner in 1825 as Alusita betulinella, a scientific name established by Johann Christian Fabricius under this name in 1787. But Hubner had misidentified Fabricius' species, which was in reality a tynid moth known today as Nemexera betulinella. In addition to this case of mistaken identity, the white-shouldered house moth as discussed by Hubner had actually been named Tinea lactella by J. and C. M. Denys and Ignaz Schiffermuller in 1775. Earlier still, Carl Linnaeus had described the white-shouldered house moth as Phalaena tinea sarcitrella in 1758, but neither Denys and Schiffermuller nor Hubner did remember it. Later authors, who were aware of the earlier descriptions, supposed the taxon of Denys and Schiffermuller, or that of Linnaeus, to be this type of Endrosis. Hubner, however, believed to have identified his white-shouldered house moths correctly with Fabricius A. betulinella and disregarded T. lactella entirely. Thus, the taxon T. lactella, though not the white-shouldered house moth species as a whole, was not included in Endrosis at the genus inception, and such a change of type species can only be made by the International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature. It is not permitted in the rules of zoological nomenclature to prevent the confusion and misinterpretations of. Over the years, a number of supposed close relatives of the white-shouldered house moth were described. Soon enough, they were all grouped in Endrosis. What remained unclear was how many species there were, and whether any forms stood out. With reports of the species accumulating from all over the world, it was eventually realized that this moth must have tagged along Homo sapiens and spread with human habitation since prehistoric times. In this single global gene pool, few if any current authors recognize more than a single species, E. sarcitrella. Synonyms. Invalid scientific names. Junior synonyms and others of the white-shouldered house moth are Alusita betulinella sensu Hubner, 1796, non-Fabricius, 1787, misidentified. Endrosis betulinella Hubner, 1818-19, Endrosis fenestrella scopoli, 1763, Endrosis kenicotella lapsus, Endrosis kenicotella clemens, 1860, Endrosis lactella lapsus, Endrosis lactella Denys and Schiffermuller, 1775, Endrosis lactella var. Antarctica Staudinger, 1899, Endrosis subditella Walker, 1864 64, Gelechia subditella Walker, 1864, Phalaena fenestrella scopoli, 1763, Phalaena tinea sarcitrella Linnaeus, 1758, Tinea betulinella sensu Hubner, 1825, non-Fabricius, 1787, misidentified. Tinea lactella lapsus, Tinea lactella Denys and Schiffermuller, 1775,